Energy check for September 5th, 2025. This is the Schumann resonance located in Russia. So this big burst of white energy started about midnight Eastern time. And it's went on until about, I would say, 7:30 a.m. Last night, right before I went to sleep, I had an episode. And I've been able to stop these episodes that I've been having. And when I say episode, it's like a vertigo episode. My ear goes deaf. Usually my right ear goes deaf. And then the whole world spins for a minute to whatever it decides, right? And a doctor diagnosed me with Meniere's disease a long time ago. But I had given up gluten in order to, fix some stomach issues, and my vertigo practically went away. And so I was like, oh, it's probably the gluten. Well, last night, I wasn't able to get it to go away. And typically I can put into my body this healing energy that will dissipate this vertigo that comes. I've learned that mindfulness, meditation, all of this has been able to teach me how to do this. And last night I couldn't do it. And so I had a full-blown episode. And it was about the time that big, huge streak came into our lives. And so that is sometimes how the energy affects me. Now, what happens is it goes deaf, my ear, and then it'll go and it'll do that for a much longer period, probably 20 minutes or so. And so I used to think that it was only something in my body happening, too much salt, that could be a culprit, or really just anything health-wise. I'm kind of changing my diet. I'm drinking more smoothies and, whatnot. And now I'm thinking there's an energy element for sure to this, because it's been I've been able to get it to dissipate. And last night I was not able to do that. So I had to kind of endure it. Now, luckily I've had these for, it's probably been like 15 years or so since I've been diagnosed. And I've only had one that lasted like longer than a minute. And that was really scary. And I was like, that's it. I'm never eating salt again. And, I go to the extreme. But last night I got this like glimpse of my life after that moment. And I was like, what am I doing? I need to focus on some goals. I need to get my life right. It was a very Saturn moment where you're like going over the things that you need to go over, that Saturn's been like, girl, you need to do these things because this is what's going to happen to you if you don't, which is a very Saturn thing. And since Saturn just went into Pisces, I think that by the way, when Saturn goes back into Pisces after it's been in Pisces for such a long time, you're going to be revisiting a lot of these same lessons. And if you haven't learned them, you will be tested and you will have to learn them this time. And so I think the combination of all of that is what happened. And then this burst of white energy came through with that red stacked energy. And I took some medication because I do have medication for vertigo. I took some medication and I was out. I had a conversation with my higher self and source, and was like, all right, I'll make some changes. It's one of those, I don't want to say like come to Jesus moments, but kind of. And I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So starting today, I made a couple goals to finish my book and to finish that trauma-informed certificate course I'm taking. I'm taking little bits at a time. My plan is never not to finish because I don't start things like that without finishing them. And so I'm on like module 3 or something, but it's by the end of September I want my book done and this certificate course done. So this is to say that the energy feels very like make your goals, get them done now. Like, and I know the eclipse season is starting here in a few days. So I wanted to get that done, those goals made, so that I can just kind of take September and do that. And some people, like I do this by seasons, right? Fall, I get very productive in the fall because it's when I wrote the book. The first time was like the end of the summer, beginning of fall, like around this time. And so I get very productive because winter around here, you kind of just hibernate and, get stuff done. And summer's really for like not being that productive. So time to get productive. It's starting. The season is starting where making goals and starting to figure out what you want to do and all that. And the dreams too. I'm having interesting dreams about birthing, new ideas and things like that. And so you might be too. So that's just a little story about how this energy has affected me. How has it affected you? Do you ever get like that? Like vertigo or like those sounds in your ears and stuff? I know people have talked about that, but yeah, it's been interesting.